we're going to write a little story, a little poem, a little something about yourself. But to start off with, I'm going to write one myself, and you guys can help me with it. That's what I want you to do. So I'm going to write this thing, and you guys can help me. So here we go.
This is the life of Larry Colton, teacher, golfer, proud granddad, pet owner, and the brains behind next week's Wordstock Book Festival. So what is Larry Colton's problem? The problem is he's doing all these things instead of writing the book that his publisher has been waiting and waiting and waiting for.
I go in these different spurts where I'll work real well on the book, but then, especially now that Wordstock is getting so close, it has just taken over my life to where, so I actually haven't really sat down and worked on the book for over a month, and that's not good. And added to the pressure is I'm writing about these greatest generation, these octogenarians, and they're dying. A word, is it a noun? Is it a verb?
Don't get me wrong, he's not wasting time, well, except for the golf maybe. He starts the day by doing some teaching as part of his Community of Writers program.
It's a program to improve writing achievement and instruction in public schools, and we train teachers, and we put writers in the classrooms, we buy books, we work with family involvement stuff, and our goal is to make kids write more better. Oh wait, I mean write better. And get them passionate about the written word. Not only that, the teachers, and gives teachers some skills to take into the classroom. Embarrassed, that's a good word. I want to create passion. I want to create a change in their attitudes about writing. I want to make them like to write and feel that they have something to say and somebody's going to read what they had to say.
Why don't you start writing it, and then I'll help you.
By the way, that's his daughter Sarah, and this is her class.
And one of the things we try to teach with the kids is writing is difficult. They have this, thought that somebody sits down at the computer, typewriter, or whatever, and it just flows out like huskies across the snow. It is labor, and it is hard. So we want the teachers to show the kids, we want them to be models and show how they struggle with their writing. And so it's not easy. It's not easy for kids. It's not easy for big-time writers.
I am the guy who's soon going to be a famous rapper named Dog Chain.
His name's Dog Chain, the rapper.
Dog Chain, the rapper. Okay, can I buy your first CD? What's? Yeah.
$17.99.
$17.99? No. I'm sorry. All I got is $1.02.
It's gonna be more for you.
Okay, all I have is $1.280. I can't make it. All right, right here.
I am a boy who lost his dad, which he died at the age of 6.
Oh.
No, he died when you were 6.
Yes, he died when I was 6. I was 6.
Tap on the back.
Right here.
Good job.
Well, that's one thing that keeps Larry busy and away from this. He's not really working on the book here. We just needed some shots of what it might look like if he were working. As you can see, his mind is somewhere else. Larry gained his literary fame with these two books, both nonfiction. Goat Brothers was about what happened to his fraternity brothers as they lived their lives after college. And Counting Coup was the story of how basketball consumed a First Nations reservation. The book in progress?
Well, it's a book about 4 men who were on the U.S. Grenadier in World War II. So it's a look at, to me, it's a deeper look at the greatest generation through the eyes of these guys who are, I call them flawed heroes, and they were major heroic things that they did in World War II, but it traces their life up to the present. And the problems they had adjusting to coming back after the war and all of the hardships that they went through there and the difficulty, because they had some horrific experiences during the war.
This is a memorial we have for all the lost American submarines of all eras. And here's the Grenadier right here.
22nd April 1943. Wow. Their submarine got sunk. And then they miraculously escaped from the ocean floor and then got captured by the Japanese and spent 3 years in a prisoner of war camp. under conditions that make Iraq seem like Club Med.
Okay, well, here's the Yeoman Shack. This is you all right?
I wasn't
Yeah,
cut out to be a submariner,
no,
I guess.
you gotta watch your head on there.
That's where one of the guys that I'm writing about he was the yeoman.
And noted author Larry Colton takes over.
Can you believe we've gone this far in the story without mentioning that Larry was a big league pitcher?
I got hurt. I separated my shoulder. I'd played in one game, and we went to San Francisco, and I got jumped by 3 guys and knocked down and landed on my shoulder, and I separated my shoulder, and that was the end of my big league career. But it's actually worked out for the best, because if that hadn't happened, I would have never become a writer. Julie Dixon is not going to do the Norman Mailer thing.
And we've gotten even further without mentioning the other thing that is keeping Larry away from the book, word stock.
It's really basically a 5-day celebration of the written word. It's a focus on literature, literacy, a lot of stuff on children's literature, and we have just been really lucky and fortunate in getting the quality of writers that we have come into the community to do this event. And some of the people you've heard of, the big names, the Mailers, the John Irvings, but even some of the other people they're just very talented people, and it's not all highbrow stuff. I mean, we got cookbook authors, we got golf writers, we have humor writers, we got a guy who's wrote about building a race car. I mean, it's all sorts of stuff. We're trying to appeal to a lot of people out there.
You'd think he could get away from the pressures of getting the book finished with his golfing buddy, Paul Lindman, wouldn't you?
You get paid for the books you're supposed to write?
Whoa. Supposed to, yeah.
I promised Larry I'd include this great shot in the story if he let me use the shot of him banging his head in the submarine.
I believe you're putting.
That reminds me of the shot Corey Pavin hit on 18 in Shinnecock in the 85 Open. Very similar, very similar. The pressure was on, execution, out of the rough, onto the green.
Of course, being a granddad also takes time out of the day, especially when it's your grandson who's getting an award.
This is Cole, and today, Cole, you're getting your award for effort and improvement.
If Larry were writing, what would that be like?
Well, I came from a background of baseball, of guys who don't, they only spit out of the left side of their mouth or scratch with the right hand or, not step on a line or, wear the same jock for 14 years because they got a hit back in, 92 or something. So the compulsion things that I do, yeah, they're little things, I will only put on when I go to work, I'll only put on my left sock first, Come on. It has to be, Are
you kidding?
Yeah, I haven't put on my right sock first since I started writing. It's only my left sock first. Yeah, and so there, I've said it. I'm out.
You ready to go? Let's go.
Do you pace?
I walk, or what I always tell my wife, when I'm sitting around staring off into spaces, I'm always working in my head. You can't, it might look like I'm just sitting here doing nothing, staring out into space, but no. They're turning in there, it's turning. If I had been that disciplined in my athletic career as I was as a writer, you'd be looking at a Hall of Fame player right now.
So if you see Larry at the festival next week, it may not be a good idea to ask him how the book is coming. Maybe just thank him for the Community of Writers program and Wordstock.